Hey there, Erica Torres-dudziak here, and I literally was in the middle of my what I call morning spiritual practice, and I wasn't even finished, and this kind of came up for me, and I felt like I needed to share it like right now. So this is a hashtag truth moment, and one of the things that I teach, and I might know it on a logical level, but I don't always practice it as much as I can, is this idea of the stories we tell ourselves. So the way we feel about any topic has to do with what we think about the topic, like our perception of that topic. So let me bring it down a little bit. Because I'm talking too much in general terms. So I'm assuming that most of you started following or subscribing because you struggled with something related to your health, that you might have breast implant illness, or you might have considered getting fat transfer. And when we think about what that means, so having breast implant illness, recently I had gotten some information from a doctor's office about some other flags that came up around some other autoimmune stuff. I'm not even going to get into it because I really don't care. What we think about the prognosis of a diagnosis or an ailment has so much to do with how our body is going to respond moving forward. I don't know if you've seen the movie Heal that came out. It's on Netflix. It came out in 2017, but maybe recently on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend it. Heal on Netflix. But even before Heal came out, I definitely have a good grasp of the mind, body, spirit connection. And I have a timer I need to turn off. There we go. And so how we think about our illness or our body or our image or our look totally affects how we feel about it, right? So I wanted to just talk for a few minutes today around the idea of stories and the stories we tell ourselves, because I don't know about you, but I want to feel good. I want to feel good about myself. I want to feel good about just all sorts of things. And when I walk around and tell myself the story that, oh, I'm sick, or oh, I have BII, or oh, I have this autoimmune, or oh, blah, 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 it doesn't make me feel empowered. It doesn't make me feel good. And it definitely doesn't lead me down the path of taking action that's connected to what I really want. So I started thinking today, and I've done this exercise before, but it came up, which means I needed to do it again. So I started thinking today about what is the story that I tell myself about my health, and around what my experience has been over the past year and a half, specifically related to getting my implants out and the fat transfer and all of that. And I realized that I'm not really telling a very feel-good story or an empowering story. So I started kind of writing down what this experience has, the opportunity this experience created for me, how it's really helped me to think more about how I've been judging myself, how I've been really harsh and critical on my body and just on my health. So days that I couldn't necessarily do as much as I wanted, how I would kind of beat myself up about it, or, feel a little guilt because I felt a little lazy, or, whatever stories we create about that. And it's all, I've been kind of talking about it. I've alluded to it in another video, just around this awareness that, I am not my appearance, or I'm not my health either. So, but it's really kind of starting to sink in, because it's coming up for me almost daily in my practice. And I'm just starting to, I feel like I'm making some shifts. It's one thing for me to say it. It's another thing for me to feel some of the shifts. And I could feel it. I could feel that I'm really, I'm not looking at myself in the mirror as often. I'm not, taking apart every piece of my body. I'm just not paying attention to that. I'm not feeling like I have to look a certain way, or my weight has to be a certain weight, or I have to reach this particular weight with my body in order for me to feel good enough or pretty enough. Like, that's all like maybe where I was 5 years ago, maybe where I was 2 years ago, but that's not where I am now. And I just hope to continue down the path of not saying I don't care what I look like, not saying that, I don't want to take care of my body, or I don't want to put forth effort into my appearance. That's not what I'm saying, but I am saying that the judgment that we put on ourselves and the critique, Prince EA had a really cool video that I had posted in my Facebook group yesterday on, I don't know if it said, "You're not pretty" or something, but it was just along the lines of, how much we compare ourselves to others, we judge ourselves, we're so critical, we're so harsh to ourselves, to our spirit, and then we expect to like feel good. And it just doesn't work that way. So today I just wanted to share some love and hopefully inspire you to take a few minutes and think about, what's the story you're telling about your health? Is it empowering? Does it make you feel good? And how can you look at the blessings inside of your current challenge, or even if it's just a perceived challenge that you have, or pain? How could you look at the blessings and not just tell a different story on paper, but I'm talking about tell this different story, like, period. Like, let me give you a really quick example. So yesterday, I really wanted to have all these things accomplished. And one of the things was re-recording this video I was doing, and I got it all done. And then I even worked extra. So I wanted to finish at 5:30, and at 5:40, I finished it. I was like, yes. And I go back and check it, and it's like, I was like in a chipmunk voice. So I was a little irritated about it because I knew I was going to have to take another hour and re-record it today. But it was interesting because I reflected, this is kind of how I got into the whole telling the story of health. Because as I reflected about yesterday, I thought about how I was telling my son and my husband really a victim story. I started saying, oh man, I made this video and it didn't record right. And I don't know, it's like this woe is me, like feel bad for me because this didn't work out. And like, instead of saying just the fact, so I can acknowledge my feelings. My husband asked about my day. Well, I was a little disappointed. I recorded this video and for whatever reason, it didn't work out and I'm going to have to re-record it. But you know what? I had the opportunity to record it the first time, and when I record it tomorrow, it's going to be so much better. So all is well. And how's your day? So just when I think about how I told the story to how I could have told the story, just shine the light that I was still in kind of a victim mode. So I know this might be a little deeper than usual and a little longer than usual, but I'm a deep soul. So hopefully you can appreciate it. Love to hear your comments below. And hey, if you want to share your victim story and now your new empowering story, I'd love to hear it. Wishing you a great day.